to talk to you today about Hunger by Michael Grant. This book was released May 26th of 2009 by Harper Teen. It has 590 pages in the U.S. paperback edition. This is the second book in the Gone series. The first book is called Gone, the second, this book is Hunger, and the third book is Lies. And as far as I know, there's going to be 6 books in this series. I gave this book an A or 4.5 stars. Now, as I just said, this is the second book in the series, so if you have not read Gone by Michael Grant, do not continue watching this video because you will be spoiled. If you want to figure out what Gone actually is, if you haven't heard of the series before, I reviewed Gone, so I'll post a link up there. It has been almost 3 months since the force field known as the Fays was created, keeping almost everyone over the age of 15 out of the town and left to defend for themselves. 3 months with no planning for the future, just waiting to be saved. Food has pretty much run out at this point. Tensions are starting to run high as more people start developing and toning their supernatural powers. And the people who haven't developed any start blaming those people who have for their problems. But starvation and feuding is the least of their concerns. A mysterious and purely evil creature is manipulating kids to help awaken it. And if it is successful, it won't even be worth trying to survive in the Fays. I gave this book an A or 4.5 stars. So that means that I really liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was an improvement from the first one. The first one I felt had a kind of a bad ending, but this book picks up right where that left off and it just escalates so quickly. This is definitely a character-driven book, so if you're one of those people who like the character books, if those are what motivates you to read a book, then this is definitely a series that you should be devouring because the whole time it's switching perspectives among 16 of the characters. I think it's 16, there's probably more, but 16 main characters. So the entire thing is so character-based because you're getting to see everybody's perspectives and it just seems so real and it's just, I love the characters in this book. Even if you hate the characters, you still like getting their perspective. Now, even though this is a character-driven book, you plot people should not be worried because there is so much plot in this book as well. There is so much mystery in the Fays, and since so much is happening and there's so much tension built up between the characters, that you are just dying to find out what's going on in the next page, and you're just devouring it page by page, word for word. It's awesome. One thing I liked about this book, and it's only happened to me a couple times, but this book felt like it had 2 climaxes. And that was really great because in a book this big, if you have this much of the book leading up to one thing, then it's not exciting. It's not something that you can, by the time you get to that climactic point, it's not as exciting as it could be, and it's really disappointing almost. So like about 200 pages in, there feels like what is a climax, like it builds up to this point and then that causes something else to happen, so you slowly start building up to another point. So you're not waiting this whole book for one moment. You have a bunch of different things going on and pretty much 2 climaxes in this huge book, and that makes it so much better because you're not focused on one thing and by the time you get to it you're not worn out. It is so frustrating to read this series because as like an adult and as a planner, I can't stand that they have no plans for the future. They're like just now starting to try to figure things out for if they're stuck there for a while. And none of the kids are wanting to help because, I mean, they're children. They have no compensation for it. They have no reason to want to go help. But it just drives me crazy because there's so much that needs to be happening. And I'm just like screaming at them through the pages like, please, please think of this. Start doing this. This is something you need to consider. And it just drives me crazy that I can't actually tell the characters that. But if that's the only negative thing I have to say about a book, that I'm screaming at it to get them to do something, then that's a really good point. Because if you care that much about a series, that you'd actually be talking to it, then it's a really good book. There was one thinker in this series, and his name was Albert from the first book, and if you guys remember him, he's the guy who opened McDonald's and started feeding kids with McDonald's food. And he got really selfish in this book, and I thought that was really annoying because he was the one character that wasn't selfish in the first book. He was the one who was thinking, he was the one who was planning. And he got really selfish in this book, and you guys will see what I'm talking about, but it just got really annoying to me. So yeah, this series is quickly becoming one of my favorite series. I definitely recommend it to anyone who likes post-apocalyptic, dystopians, to anyone who likes YA in general. This should be a series that's for you. I'm Jessica with Chapter Chicks. This is my review over Michael Grant's Hunger, and this chapter was for you.